Hey, my friend, I want to tell you what I think is now a funny story that happened in the past week of my life involving the letter M on a tree. So, in our nonprofit work, we go into prisons and help inmates prepare to get out of prison and know their purpose. And we also get to go into schools and help students with mental health problems. We help them understand mental health and how they can live a different life in order to have strong mental health. So, me and some buddies decided as a fundraiser, we would do something really fun for people in the disc golf community in our city. And so, we put together this really fun event at a park, and we had challenges and different types of competitions and games, and we just had a load of fun. We didn't raise a lot of money, but boy, did we have fun. So, one thing that we did at this event is we painted the letter M on a tree. It's called a mando. If you haven't played disc golf like most of the world, a mando is the letter M placed on usually a tree or some kind of sign. It'll have an arrow pointing left or right, and that means that you have to throw your disc either to the left or right of that tree for that hole. It just adds some variety to the course. So we did that on one of the trees for this event. What we didn't think about is, wait a second, that M is going to stay on that tree, and everyone who goes to play that course when they get to this hole, they might see that M and say, "Oh, I have to play this hole that way." So it's probably been almost 2 months since that event, and I've been starting to get a lot of negative feedback from people. People found a post that I had on social media, and they've started to leave me a lot of comments. And there's a lot of people upset about this M, and they're afraid that I'm this tree is going to be ruined, and I've ruined their disc golf round because they didn't know how to play this particular hole. It's been said that it was the dumbest thing you could ever do on a disc golf course, what we did. And so part of me was like, ugh, really? Like, how come no one cares about the good we were trying to do? How come no one cares at the fun event we had? And anyway, I went and took some tools and gently scraped off some paint from that tree yesterday. And hopefully everyone gets back to their happy lives. But this story represented something. It was a microcosm of something about life, and here's what it is. I find that in our life, people are ready to line up and point out to you and I our messes. That's what the M stands for, our messes. If you mess up something in life, people are quick to jump in and try to fix you and tell you what you did wrong. And do you know how dumb that was? Do you know how dumb you are? If you mess up in life, or if I mess up in life, it seems that people are so quick to jump in and point out our flaws. Like, why did you do that? Even when you're a little kid in school, you're 9 or 10 years old, and maybe to try to bring some joy to the classroom, you say something or do something, and maybe you cross the line a little bit. Teachers don't tend to say, you know what a great spirit you have. I see what you were trying to do there. No, they just get mad because you cross the line. And I think we can live our whole lives in fear of crossing the line. And people don't pay attention to the intentions of what you were trying to do for good. Here's the bold statement I want to make. One of the most devastating things about life is that people are quick to point at your mess, but people oftentimes ignore our mission. It's one of the most disheartening things I think most people deal with at some point. That if you want to do something with your life that's good, if you want to do something that requires faith, if you want to do something that you feel like is a sense of calling, people oftentimes just kind of look away. But if you drop the ball or put an M on a tree or you mess up in some sort of way, then it seems that people are always turning towards that and raising an eyebrow thinking, do you know what you just did? Do you know how dumb that is? And I think this is the state of our lives for so many of us. is we all have messes, but the greater thing is that under our mess is a mission or a message, and the world needs it. But one of the hardest things to overcome is how we think about our mess and how other people think about our mess. I don't know about you, but for so many years, I held back my life thinking, until my mess is gone, I will have no mission. Until my mess is gone, I don't have a message that matters. Matter of fact, until my mess is gone, I don't matter. Now I've realized, wait a second, my mess is just my kryptonite. And whenever I acknowledge my kryptonite, it reminds me that I'm kind of a Superman, and so are you. The reality of a mess doesn't get to define or take away our message. If you feel you want further help with that, you can reach out to me, or you can check out the book that me and 36 of my friends wrote called In the Game. It's for helping men to get off the sidelines where we tend to focus on our problems and instead get in the game where we focus on other people and the mission of our life.